Muri yeZimbabwe kusangana kwatiri kuita zvakarepo pano pazimu local daily scoop apo patinode kupa mafirst hand update anonga ari kuitika munyika yedu yeZimbabwe. So kana uri mutsva usabve pano usina kusubscribe, kulike nekushare. So tine mashoko anyorwa pano naRutendo Matinyarare wanova zviri zvibaba kana kuti zvaimbova zvibaba zvemubato reZanu PF apo patiri kuona pari kutaurwa nenhauwa yemuchato wemwana wakodata Gwereye. Tiri kuona panapa muri yeZimbabwe pakanyorwa kunzi did you notice that did you notice that there were no military allies at Kudata Gwere's son's wedding, yet that wedding was staged to serve as a wedding and also a projection of the power and influence of stand-in President Tagwereye. For some to be a commander-in-chief in Zimbabwe, they need to be accepted by the military, is Chokwadi Chinorwadza Zimbabwe, who in future will salute and protect their ascendance. It's a clear message. Read this with my previous post of understanding why. Tiri kuona panapa muri yeZimbabwe Rutendo Matinyarare anyora kuti absence of the military at Tagwere's wedding is a clear sign. But tiri kuona kuti hakuna kana mauto wakamboenda ikoko kusina military. Yana Vivi Chiwenga vainge vasikwa na Mshaya vanhu vainge vasikwa na George Charamba vainge vasikwa vanhu vakawanda. Cable 3 chete ndo yainge iriko muri yeZimbabwe. So tira kuti tinzwa macomrade vari panapa tidzo kuti zvakamira sei.
Was hosting but panapa ndi angocherawo. Ndikati kana mchida kuona kuti zvinofamba sei, keep an eye to the director of CIO. Ngatiende pahistory yacho uyu akaita zvakati uyu akaita zvakati. Space iyoyo haina kuita 2 months. Director wamaCIO akabva abviswa pakaiswa mumwika izvezvezvi speak. Wombo zvinhu zvatinotaura angojera kuti pamaspace panapa zvinenge zvitoriko kumberi. Takataura nyaya yemafeed dynasty, amene inonzi mafeed dynasty kuti ndo kingdom kana whatever munotapa kingdom whatever, takazvitaura tikationa zviri kuenda zvikaitika. People when we were talking about it they were saying I'm a prophet of doom. Zvinoenda nekupi plus futi kamunoziva kuti less PhDs. Sasa ndoda kutonoenrora ndite sange Dr. Tadini. Ndoda kutonotanga kuita PhD, chero PhD of whatever, I don't know. Angojera kuti isusu ngatidzvanye chinhu chedu tifambe takananga. Izvi sana nazvo izvi. Do not be used by these people, by ZANU-PF people, by counterintelligence. Go and study a subject or a module that is called counterintelligence. How does it work? They andiri munoziva inonzi chii vanotaura yekunzi inotrenda inonzi algorithm. Yes. Yeah, that's English. Algorithm. Munokandwa ma-algorithm. Izvozvi algorithm iri kutrenda paZimbabwe ndeyema-audios. This audio is going to pass, the other one is going to come. Because munomhanya vari kuziva kuti mazimba tikavaisira ma-audios vanomhanya nadzo tichivabrainwasha tichivadidi. Saka izvozvizvi yatopfuura. Don't worry about it, forget about it, wait for the next one. The next one is coming soon and you'll be distracted from fighting Cable 3. Audio.
You know, Tagore is gone. Tagore doesn't have power. I mean, we all thought President Mugabe was very powerful, but we realized that he was living on borrowed power, artificial power. Power without the popular support of the people is artificial, And Tagore doesn't have that power at all. And I think because these people now, I was reading some. My Kenyan friend, gave me some books to read. So I was reading Devil on the Cross by Ngugi wa Thiong'o, and also Wizard of the Crow by Ngugi wa Thiong'o as well. He was saying, read this. In those two books, really, in those two novels, Ngugi describe exactly what's happening in Zimbabwe. In Devil on the Cross, Devil on the Cross, he talks about Devil's Feast. These rich people, feeding, themselves to death in the midst of poverty, where people are poor. They forget they forget about the poor really, and they become so insensitive into the plight of the poor, because in a country which is poor like ours, where a lot of people are struggling to make ends meet, people with empathy would have thought, what, yes, but let's have a private ceremony. Let us not expose, our wealth, in the sea of poverty. But they don't care. People are going to the devil's feast. That part, is what Ngugi wa Thiong'o talks about in his novel as a devil's feast. It was a devil's feast where these rich, insensitive people go and show off their wealth, you know, and forget that all that money, all those millions could save lives, could actually do a lot to save the poor, but they don't care because they're in their own world, really. So I think I go back to what I said earlier. The emperor has no clothes, and all the sycophants surrounding the emperor are not telling the emperor, because they are afraid. They want to tell the emperor what they want to hear, and only time will tell. Tagore is living on borrowed time. His only survival is dependent on Mnangagwa. If anything happens to Mnangagwa, I'm telling you, Tagore is going to be the first person to catch a flight abroad, running away. So that's why I wanted to share Uncle Jed's, really.
Right. Thank you very much. I do appreciate. Right. Can we go to the next speaker in the lineup? Engineer, how are you?
I'm all right, Uncle Jerry. How are you?
Oh.
Keshingo. No, it was me.
What did I say? No. You said
no, engineer.
No, engineer. You were coming after Keshingo.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, my bro. Yeah, you're coming after Keshingo. Yes. Go on, my sister.
Hi, uncle. Hi, everyone. Yeah, muziva kuti Zimbabwe inogara ichingotipha zvekutaura, handiti isiteti isingatombozvide zvenyaya dzevanhu, but nyaya dzevanhu dzacho dzinenge dzichitongouya kwatiri topedzisira taakutongodzitaura paya. From the audio, ndadzidza zvakawanda, but also something started to make sense. Audio yabuda, yes, and then honorable veku-IT vakaita birthday rava nditi ndobva Tagore ataura kuti vaimbove change money. Zvinotomeka sense izvozvo. That actually makes sense. Ukuoko matakaira akanzi anoita zvekudidi zvemadrugs, and imagine he's the minister of youth. These are the kind of people that we have in key ministries. Kuti kana ari Tagore ari kuvagadza as this audio alleges, tiri pama1, but tiri pama1 kudaro pane vamwe vanhu 2 vari pama1 kupfuura isu, Passion Java naED. Passion Java, because I don't know how he ended up being caught up in all of this. Munhu anga achitotambudzikawo nekuti akarambwa nemukadzi, and also now hasichafambi nemotakedi, vanhu vakomana vaimbopisa. And this is the thing that I low-key like about ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF inokudzikamisa very fast. Inokugura muswe pedo. Vaifamba nemotakedi vana Passion avo, vachipisa mumastreets umu, vachidini malambogini, vachidini. Iko zvinezvi now they are being used as scapegoats. Zvekuti it's staged hatizvirambi izvozvo, but we are not disputing the content of the...
And longer. Because if we keep this thing of not working together to hit our individualized work, we're still not going to get solutions for our problems. We're still not going to solve our problem. And we're still going to be doing small bits of things that won't make a real difference. There has to come a time where we feel like the heat is too much. Meaning the monies that these people are talking about, BP, because I'm thinking about the people that I'm talking to, Varugu Zimbabwe, will talk about being made to pay my $2 Nema Sabuk, and that $2 is a lot of money for them. And these are real situations and real problems. And we need to start finding a common ground to sit down and plan as Vana, Zimbabwe, those in South Africa, Vachita, and so that it's no longer just single individual organizations, but then we try to encompass each and every Zimbabwean who feels there's something that should be done and can be done. So I'm encouraging, please guys, let's do something. Let's do something. Thank you.
Right. Thanks, Child of Zim. Do you, I think you've been talking about this for quite a while. Do you get people coming to your inbox, inquiring and talking stuff like that?
I haven't. Okay, it's something that's like what 6 days that started. I've been sharing to other people so that they see the channel, and we're hoping that more people will engage the information in the channel, and will share. And for now, I think I can only help out a few organizations do their infographics. So for now, that's actually what I'm doing. I'm actually just doing infographics for my organizations that I know that are progressive and anti-cab 3, so that we stop listening and having people dictate the news for us. We need to start having ourselves creating the news. That means we need to be in contact with things on the ground so that we can inform the newspapers so that they publish. But the thing is, we're so used to having other people publish the news. We're not grabbing the narrative. We keep dancing to the narrative that they give us. And it gets frustrating for me when I think about that. So I'm always saying, guys, we need to start grabbing the narrative and making ourselves in those newspapers. Iwo manewspaper ava vanenge vachitivawo ndo avanenge vachita news. Let's have our people and our stories and our issues becoming the main news. And we need our citizens being very proactive. The most important thing about being proactive is them being able to also start speaking up about the things that are happening in their individual homes and hometowns. So guys, please, those who want, please just send me a follow. You can follow me, you can inbox me, I'll just send you the link to the channel. If you've got things that you think like they need to be changed, they need improvement, we got all ears, because we're trying to build an organization for Zimbabweans. But at the same time, what we're saying is we need all hands on deck doing something. If you don't know how to create information that you think will be important for people to hear, it's better we create the information and we flood sharing our own progressive information on civic rights and all those things, rather than sharing information that will only make other people seem like they're very important. I've just got a few problems with that. Please forgive me. I want us to take back the reins of the narrative and stop entertaining ZANU-PF as they try to take us away from fighting the real fight. We spend money doing CAB 3, but that's not our real problem. The real problem is we're an oppressed people. So as an oppressed people, we need to focus on our oppression. Everything else that they are doing, they're just sideshows. They're big sideshows, and they've gone this far because our people don't have civic education. If they had civic education, people would have been already making noise about it. Ngomani was talking about the way South Africans stand up and speak up and fight. It's because they found that those groupings where they can say the same thing, and they don't have that much fear. We've got a fear that we need to get rid of. Saka, let's deal with that fear. If fear means somebody doing songs that will make people away from fear, somebody's going to do a video and we move that. It is us who are supposed to share and move those things. I remember Coltert was doing a campaign on saving the wetlands, and very few people were making a lot of noise about it. But those are the small civic activities that will empower citizens to do other civic activities, that will empower them to know that they can speak and their voices can be heard. So guys, please, let's do something. Let's work. Thank you.
Can I quickly respond to that, Titus? Sorry, I know there's people in the works. Yeah, no, it's really interesting to hear what you're working on, and I definitely think that there is room for fellow Zimbabweans who are supporting one another, and each individual is a part of a different organization, or some are a part of the same organization, or some are part of like multiple organizations. And so there is a citizens movement that I keep talking about, which is rising right now, where we're just saying, look, whatever organization you're looking to build or already a part of, it doesn't matter. We're just uniting as Zimbabweans under the same goal, under the same banner of Zimbabwe Says No. So yeah, I think that, you know, what she mentions is a good segue to just talk about that, because I think that we can never talk about it enough, that this, you know, citizens movement is one where we're trying to support one another. If you're seeing, for example, if I say, oh, you know, Dr. Tadini is posting certain educational content, how can we be resharing more of his content and be doing more of that? If we're seeing Uncle Jade has got a space, how are we then sharing that and putting that in different places, but also different activities that we can be doing, whether that be on X, on Facebook, on the ground, on TikTok, just so that at least we are doing whatever part we can in ensuring that, one, people are educated about what is going on, but also that we are taking action as a result of whatever it is that we're seeing. So yeah, I do just, you know, even to Danny's point that he was mentioning, I think that action is being taken. It's now up to you as a Zimbabwean to say they are individuals. And I come here all the time and I talk about this, but very little time do I have anyone inboxing me saying, oh, can you tell me a little bit